Hello everyone and welcome to this week's reading vlog. I am currently in the parking lot of my favorite local coffee shop and I am planning on getting some reading done. So this week I am reading Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. I am a little over halfway through, so I would love to finish this week. And then I am also reading Keeper of the Lost Cities Lodestar, which is the 5th book in this series. I'm only about 100 pages into this one, so I don't think I'll be able to finish it this week because it's a little over 600 pages, but we shall see. But I have my chai latte and I am going to work on my, let me get it out of my bag. I'm going to work on my paint by sticker book. I have the flower one. I've done the cats, the paintings, the dogs, the fish. No, I haven't done the fish one yet, I don't think. But you can find these on Amazon. They're like $11 and I'm obsessed with them. They are very relaxing and I love doing them while I'm listening to my audiobook. So I'm going to be listening to Oathbringer on audio, and then after I listen to that for about an hour or so, I'm going to switch over to physically reading Lodestar, and I'll read that for about an hour and kind of just switch back and forth until I am ready to go home. So that is the plan for this morning, and I will keep you updated with my thoughts on my books when I have them. Hello, I am home now and I thought I would update you guys with what I got done reading while I was at the coffee shop. I don't know how much I got into this. I read for like 45 minutes or listened for like 45 minutes for this, and this is the 3rd book in the series, so I can't really tell you guys really anything that it's about, but I will say that so far this is my least favorite in the series. I think my favorite is The Way of Kings, and then Words of Radiance, and then Oathbringer. So each book has progressively gotten worse, but they're all 5 stars. The Way of Kings I would say is like 6 stars for me, and then Words of Radiance is like 5.5 stars, and then Oathbringer is 5 stars, if that makes sense. So I am rereading these in preparation for Wind and Truth coming out this year, so I'm wanting to be caught up before I jump into that one. And then Lodestar, I wound up reading about a little over 100 pages of this at the coffee shop. And again, I can't really tell you anything that this is about because it's the 5th book in the series, so it would be like big spoilers. But each of these books has also been 5 stars, and they are also rereads for me. I am rereading this in preparation for the 9th or 10th. I think it's the 9th book. No, it's the 10th. I don't know, the 9th or 10th book in this series that's coming out this year. I'm hoping that I will finish this. I mean, it'd be cool if I could finish it this week. If I keep up this pace, then I should be able to, of reading it 100 pages a day. But yeah, so right now my kids are napping. And while they're napping, I'm going to listen to more of Oathbringer and then read some more of Lodestar. And then when the kids wake up, I'm going to be doing school. I'm homeschooling my daughter for pre-K this year. And so we are going to do school in the afternoon, and then I'll be just hanging out with my family, cooking dinner and all of that stuff. So I won't be able to read for the rest of the evening, but I will hopefully get some oh my goodness. But hopefully I will get a decent amount of reading done before nap time is over. friends, happy Tuesday, and I wanted to update you guys because yesterday I wound up reading 200 pages of Lodestar, so now I'm about 300 pages into it, and I figured that I could give you guys like a rundown of what this series is about. So basically we're following this girl named Sophie Foster who finds out that she is an elf, and she was raised by humans, and then when she is 13, how old is she in the first book? 12? 11? 11 or 12. She's 11 or 12 in the first book. And this boy named Fitz comes and finds her and takes her to what is called the Lost Cities, where the elves live. And yeah, there's a bunch of adventures from there. It's a very, very good series. I highly recommend it if you like middle grade. I really think that you will like this series. And yeah, I got 200 more pages into it yesterday. And the plans for today, I'm currently in the parking lot of my therapy office, and so I'm going to go to therapy, and then I'm going to go to a coffee shop and read for a little bit, and then go home, read for a little bit more, try to tidy up the house a little bit, and then in the afternoon we're going to do school with my kiddos, and then cook dinner, and just kind of hang out for the rest of the afternoon. But I'm hoping I can get like 100 more pages read of the Stormlight Archive book I'm on, Oathbringer, and maybe 100 pages more into Lodestar, so I will keep you guys posted with how things are going. Good morning and happy Wednesday. Yesterday I didn't wind up reading hardly anything, so that is a bummer, but I'm still on track with Lodestar for how much I want to read this week since I read 200 pages of it on Monday. So, and I am hoping that I can get like 100 more pages into Oathbringer, and that will put me at the 950 page mark. So this book is thick, but yeah, and then I'm hoping that I can get 100 pages into Lodestar, which will put me at the 400 page mark for that one, and that'll like keep me on track for finishing this book this week. And I also started Divine Rivals. I can't remember the author's name, but I'll put the picture of the cover right here. I started reading that on my Kindle, and I have literally only read the prologue, and that's it. I'm very interested though because it mentioned like some kind of goddess, and the brother is going off to war, and the sister is like, I wish I could come with you, and the like guilt that she has that she wasn't the one chosen by the goddess or something. So yeah, that is where I'm at with that. I literally don't know anything about that book other than it is a fantasy romance. So I am going into this. I've heard good things about it. Romance is not really my thing. When it comes to romance in fantasy, I prefer it to be a fantasy that has a dabble of romance in it. Or I just prefer for me to not know that there's a romance in it, and then when it happens, I am like pleasantly surprised, because I feel like romances for me are very predictable, and I don't like knowing ahead of time that there's gonna be a romance, because then I just am like, when we find the love interest, I'm like, okay, well obviously they're gonna get together and da 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 da. So I don't know. I'm hoping that this is not that way for me and that I do wind up enjoying it. Like I said, I have heard really good things about it, so fingers crossed that it goes well for me. And I'm hoping that I can get a decent amount of the way into that one, but I'm only reading it at night, like before I go to bed, so I don't read too much before I wind up falling asleep. But yeah, I am hoping to read 200 pages, 100 pages in each book respectively, so I will keep you guys updated with how things are going.
getting sprung. We used to dance the night away, hang out the whole next day, laughing, having fun.
Hi friends, I am here with a reading update. I just got to page 400, 403 of Lodestar, and I am not liking this as much as I did the first time I read through it. The first time I read through this series, I gave all of the books 5 stars, and this time, I don't know if it's because I already know the story or what the deal is, but it's sitting more at a 4-star for me. I'm not going to change my rating on Storygraph though, because I feel like my most authentic rating was the 5-star. So yeah, but I am still enjoying it. Obviously it's still like 4 stars, but it is a little bit slow. And I feel like a lot of what's happening is like planning for things and preparing for things, and things are not happening. Like, there are certain plot points that we have been anticipating for a while now, and nothing is really moving forward. There was one big incident that happened in this book, but nothing really came of it, and we're kind of just again in the waiting phase of like trying to figure out what it means. So I know I'm being super vague, but this is the 5th book in the series, so I don't really want to give anything away. But yeah, it is a little bit slower, but I am still enjoying myself. I plan on reading 100 more pages of this tomorrow, which will put me at the 500 page mark. And then I'll only have about 200 pages left to go. So I am well on my way to finish this book this week, which is very exciting. And I also listened to about 100 pages of Oathbringer, which this book is also a lot slower in my opinion than the first 2 books, and it is my least favorite of the 3 that I've read so far. There's a lot of it that I don't remember though. Like, this is a reread for me, and there's a lot that happens that I am like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But I feel like the characters are starting to make some more like developmental choices, and we are seeing more growth from the characters. Specifically Shallan, I feel like she is starting to really wrestle with the inner parts of herself, and if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. But I feel like she is starting to make some good character decisions, and then Kaladin, I feel like, is kind of hitting a wall and isn't sure which direction to go. And he's trying to kind of just push through and muscle through and not really deal with it, but it's stuff that he needs to deal with and needs to accept, and then he'll be able to move forward. We're also getting a lot more of the side characters in this book, which I think is really interesting, especially one of the characters, Szeth. We're getting more of his point of view, which I'm finding really, really interesting. So it is a interesting book, but it also is moving pretty slowly. I am like 900 something pages. Let me check. I am 934 pages into it, so I have made quite a bit of progress, and I'm hoping that I can read 100 pages of this tomorrow as well, and that will put me like well into it. You can see where I'm at. So I'm almost done with this one, and I am a little over halfway done with Lodestar. So it would be really cool if I could finish both of these books this week, and then I can start Rhythm of War next week, and then I don't remember what the 5th book of this is called. Nightfall. So I can start Nightfall next week as well. As far as Divine Rivals, I still haven't read any more of that, but I plan on reading it tonight. I'm not going to be reading any of my physical books for the rest of the night, but I will be reading Divine Rivals, so hopefully I get a decent amount of the way into that, and I can update you guys with my thoughts tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to update you guys because last night I read 47 pages and up to chapter 6 in Divine Rivals. And so far, this book is about this girl named Iris whose brother goes to fight in this war for one of the goddesses. And the other god is like the underling god. And I'm not really sure what their dynamic is. We haven't really learned that much about them, but I'm sure we will as the book goes on, especially since Iris works for this newspaper and she is looking to write an article about this monster that was seen on the front lines at the war. And her rival, Roman, is also writing about the front lines of the war, but from a different angle. And whoever writes the best article is going to win the position of columnist. And so obviously they're both like vying for that and are like heavily competing, and they seem to hate each other, but there's like an undertext of them both kind of like recognizing that the other person is attractive and that there might potentially be like not feelings for each other yet, but I'm assuming that this is the romance that takes place in this book. So yeah, and a cool like interesting part of this plot too is Iris has been writing letters to her brother and sticking them under the closet door, and they disappear. And so she's just been like writing letters and then they've just been vanishing. And then one night she gets a letter back that says, "This isn't Forrest," Forrest being her brother. And so she's like, what? And so she writes back and we find out that it's Roman who's receiving her letters. And so obviously there's like tension there, and Roman's like conflicted about whether or not he should tell her that it's him or not. And he decides that he's not going to tell her. And so they kind of go back and forth a little bit, and she's like, well, you're not going to hear from me again, so bye. And that's kind of the last part that I read in this book. So I am interested in it. I'm hoping that it's not too predictable, because as soon as we got introduced to Roman, I was like, that's the love interest. I know it. And that is kind of my problem with romance, is that I find it to be very predictable. But maybe I won't mind in this book because there's a lot of other plot going on too, which I am interested in. So I am planning on reading more of that today. And right now I am at my local coffee shop, and I'm going to be reading Lodestar and Oathbringer, and I will let you guys know how that goes. Good morning, everyone. Today is going to hopefully be a very productive day. My sister-in-law is going to take the kids out for the day, so I am going to be able to get a bunch of laundry done, cleaning done, and hopefully a lot of reading done. I'm planning on reading a lot of Oathbringer today as I am doing laundry and folding the clothes and cleaning and all of that stuff. And then I am definitely going to be taking some reading breaks to continue reading Lodestar. And I am also going to be hopefully taking a big reading break to read at least 100 pages of Lodestar. I am almost done with it. I would love if I could finish this today. And I only have a little over 3 hours left of the audiobook for Oathbringer, so it would be awesome if I could finish that today as well. And then I can move on to starting the books in my September TBR, which I'm very excited about. And I will keep you guys updated with thoughts when I have them. Hello everybody, I have an update. I have finished Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson and it was 5 stars. Again, this is my least favorite of the 3 that I've read so far, but the ending is really good, and I'm excited to jump into the 4th one soon. But next I will be picking up Lodestar, and I would love if I could finish this today, and my mother-in-law is keeping the kids for a sleepover tonight, so I have extra time to read. Also, I just ate really spicy ramen, so my nose is running, sorry. So the plan now is to sit and read Lodestar while my kiddos are napping, and then once they're done napping, I'm gonna take them to their Lolly's house, and they're gonna have a sleepover there, and it's gonna be great. I think Cody and I are gonna play a board game tonight, which is gonna be super fun, and yeah. Good morning. I wanted to update. Sorry, my dog is like, hello. I wanted to update because I have finished Lodestar by Shannon Messenger, and I am keeping my 5 out of 5 star rating. That's the rating that I originally gave it. I completely forgot about the ending of this book and how crazy it gets. So, and I know that the next one is going to pop off. So I'm very excited to get to that one soon. But yeah, that is going to be the end of this week's reading vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!